Wednesday.
Okay, thank God. All right. Good. Hello, brother. Are you good? Alfonso?
I'm good.
Good. Excellent. Right. Tonight is one that has been on the cards for a while. And weirdly enough, no one has actually sent me questions. No one has sent me tweets going, I mean, I know I put the definition for an anti-hero in the timeline, but I'm quite almost perturbed by how quickly everyone's just accepted this and gone, yep, that's okay, got my list. No, I'm good. No questions, got my list. It's a little bit freaky, to be honest.
I think somebody had a question, but I've always have said anti-hero would be like in TV, it would be like Walter White or Tony Soprano.
Spot on. Yeah.
Think of that for like, but as in a movie form.
Absolutely spot on. And we'll have someone. Go on, brother.
Hey guys, no, I was saying someone you can actually, you want to root for them, but you also know they're doing some bad shit.
There's some bad people. I've coined a new phrase. They're just bad good guys. That's basically it. So I'm not gonna be finicky. I'm not gonna pick people apart on it. I mean, unless. Can we get this out of the way quickly? Let's just get this out of the way quickly. Darth Vader is not an anti-hero. He is not an anti-hero. No, right? Am I right? He's not an anti-hero.
Yeah, I agree.
What about like Anakin Skywalker in the prequels? Or in part 3?
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess in Jedi technically, but that's not just because the villain turns good at the end doesn't mean they're still not a villain.
How about this, Skadoosh? If someone says that it's an anti-hero, they have to just make a case for it. I mean, because I know I have a anti-hero that you guys might think it's basic, but I believe he's an anti-hero.
Okay, all right. You color me interested, brother. Right, let me say hi to other people. Matthew's here.
I'm sorry I wasn't there last time, but I'm happy to be back.
I'm gonna pretend it's not acceptable. But Matthew, do you know what? Fine. Do you know what? I haven't been here, so this has been one of the few ones that we've done recently. But we will be ratcheting them up. We're going to be doing these a lot more regularly. I'm getting my shit together,
and I'll be there.
Then you will be here, as will David. David kind of inspired today's in a very roundabout way. not that he's an anti-hero in any way, but I woke up and saw some tweets on your timeline today, David, and it kind of lit a fire under me.
Yeah. Okay. Let me put it to you this way.
Go on.
I got a new appreciation for what I say on here and how I say it.
But this is the thing. But this is the thing. You did nothing wrong. You did nothing
so
wrong.
Let me give a little backstory here. So, there was a tweet out there saying how Get Out was one of the best films in recent memory, and I had said something like, the tweet I put out there was something to the extent of it was honest. It was brutally honest and everything else. And I used the word funny
because it's funny.
Well, no. And here's the thing. So what ended up happening was there was a movie critic that she was from South by Southwest, and she's like, "How was Get Out funny?"
Which makes me question how the fuck is she a critic for South by Southwest?
Okay, so nonetheless, I thought about it afterwards, and I told her the scene. So anybody, I believe, I really don't want to spoil for anybody. Has everybody seen Get Out here? Well, okay. So anyways, there's a scene at the end. I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a scene at the end there's irony to it. And I was explaining that, and she's like, "Oh, okay, I understand that." And I used the word funny in the wrong context.
You didn't know because you used it in the right context.
It
made you laugh.
Right. So what I was getting at is this: what I was saying could possibly, while some people may find it funny, I was not being sensitive to other people. And I understand where you're coming from, Skadoosh. I do.
Yeah.
I really do. And nonetheless, so I tweeted immediately after that. I tweeted out, if I recently had a tweet out there, and if it offended anybody, I want to apologize. That wasn't my intention. It was irony I was going for, not funny. Yeah. But the moral of the story is this, that I now know now that I'm growing, I have over 250 followers and everything else. Now that I'm growing, okay, in the number of people that read these things, I have to be extremely, extremely careful in how I word things. Now, if you go to my profile picture, okay, it will say, Boston this, blah, blah, blah. And then in parentheses, I have the disclaimer, all tweets are personal opinions. Mm-hmm. That's a caveat, right? Yeah. Because I don't want somebody to think, oh, well, this guy's a racist. He's a bigot. But and here's the thing. After thinking about that, I was not coming from their point of view. I have no idea what it's like to go through that kind of life.
No,
because I can't live it. It's one of the things where I'm a white Caucasian male. I've never had to deal with any of that stuff growing up. No. I've always had doors open. I've always had not things given, but things, that have opportunities, everything else. And it's twice as hard, even sometimes 3 times as hard to get through that door than that other person is there. And all you got to do is look at Hollywood, right?
Yeah, that
encapsulates. So nonetheless, it's like, okay, I need to really check myself. So the moral of the story is this: I need to check myself in how I say things because of the exposure I'm going to be doing that. But getting back to what you were saying earlier, I want to say thank you because, obviously I didn't mean to inspire you in the wrong way.
No, you inspired me in the right way because
but
I said this to you in a DM. Ryla would have drawn swords.
Yeah. Well, and here's
what very quickly.
Here's what I said in the DM though. I said, look, because we were talking, and I said it's like that. We always use movies as metaphors.
Yeah.
And I said it's like that scene it's one of the most iconic scenes in movies, but it's that scene in the 1994 Shawshank Redemption. Get busy living. Mm-hmm. Or get busy dying.
And
And
I'm so glad you brought that up. You can also use the metaphor from last night's, or this, if you called it today, the first episode of season 3 of Ted Lasso. Yeah,
Okay.
boy. Where
Yeah,
everything is a sewer system. Everything is a sewer system.
So
You
nonetheless,
connect and let it flow.
Yeah, and that really gives a context that, it's that, analogy, YOLO.
Okay,
But
let me
anyways.
say this to you, David, and we'll move on from here. But the reason why Ryla would have drawn swords is the same reason that I did, which is because if you had said something which was racially insensitive, I think you'd have been right to have been called out on it. You weren't, and you didn't. And I think describing a movie like Get Out as being funny, it wasn't the first word you used, it wasn't the second, it was the third adjective you used for it. And it is funny. It is funny. It's written by a fucking comedian. So I
No, yeah.
listen, I completely agree. Listen, I completely agree with being sensitive. I really do. It is but at the same time as well, there's how do I put this?
I see, unfortunately, the problem is that, everybody knows everybody in this space. And so present company excluded. But the people that read these things, they don't know me from the hole in the wall.
Exactly.
And the problem is, if I put something out that has the impropriety or the perception of, being racially insensitive, that comes back on me. It doesn't matter what disclaimer, it doesn't matter what caveat, it doesn't matter what I say in my profile. The fact is that he made a tweet at this time, at that place, and said this. Look, we can't even go back to somebody like James Gunn, for Christ's sakes.
Well, exactly.
Okay?
And this
who
is my point. This is my point.
A tweet 10 years ago and gets fired.
That's true. But at the same time, you can. I think the more you censor yourself, the more that you feel like you have to confine yourself in your language. It confines and restricts your personality as well. Fuck's sake!
No, absolutely. It was just a spur of the moment thing.
I invited everyone to this space by calling them slags. And I very often, I know Teresa isn't thrilled with me calling her a dickhead on a regular basis, and that is exceptional timing. That is exceptional fucking timing.
Couldn't have. You have to ask her if that was planned, by the way.
But it wasn't. But this is my point.
I know it wasn't. I'm busting your chops.
I think you could. I think again. It's
so as soon as she gets a mic, you have to tell her exactly what you just said,
Teresa. I will.
But I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish.
But this essentially this. If it's more important to you to make sure you don't offend people, then by all means live your life and control the way you use language to make sure that you don't. If that's the most important thing to you as well. It is important to me, but also at the same time. Yeah, you can't go.
Well, the thing is,
you can't go through life worrying.
No. And I understand that, but the thing is too, and I'm not trying to say, besides the space, everything, nobody else, and I'm not disparaging when I say this to anybody else. I'm putting
other people first.
Things out there on YouTube. I'm putting things out there in the universe, and it's one of those things too where. If I come across to anybody, because I am now getting out there as far as, social media and YouTube and everything else, it's a matter of perception. It's a matter of perception who watches the videos. It's a matter of perception who reads the tweets. It's a matter of perception of, the crowd that I'm trying to build, whether it's Kid or Destiny.
I know it comes from a good place. It all comes from a good place. Fahad?
Yeah, and that's the thing at the end of the day.
Hey, just wanted to say to David, hey David, as a person of color and as a guy who represents all people of color, I just wanted to say.
Do you have that? Do you have a certificate for that? Do you have a certificate?
I have a badge.
Of course you do.
He has a certificate of authenticity.
No, but I just wanted to say, I think you could pretty much tell when a racist person utters their first sentence that
Yeah,
they're fucking racist.
yeah.
And knowing you for a while, like we know, or at least I mean, I can tell from myself that you are not that person.
No.
But like you acknowledging and trying to like bring this up by yourself also just tells like what type of like a good person you are. I
Exactly.
don't think
Well,
you
I
have anything to
appreciate
worry
that.
about.
I do. I really do appreciate that. The problem is, Fahad, is that your average Joe out there or your average Jane out there doesn't know me.
No.
And they only know me from a tweet that I put out. And the thing is that one tweet, I mean, going back to the whole James Gunn things, I mean, obviously I'm not in a position that high up in the game, but it's one thing, whether it's, 1 minute or 10 years. Unfortunately, we all have a digital footprint.
Yeah, we do.
Whether it's, Twitter, Instagram, whatever
Unless
it
you're
is.
rich. Unless you're rich,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you
And
can
then,
afford then you can afford to pay people to
exactly.
scrub
So you have damage
history.
control lawyers.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where the average Joe or Jane reading that tweet, and if they are of, color or African American or whatever else, that might get misconstrued.
Sure. Listen,
And
it's an
so that's
honorable
why
sentiment.
it's a cover your ass type of thing.
Sure.
But I
this is
do
his friend.
appreciate the kind words. Thank you very much.
No worries at all. Let me say hi to Chloe. Hello, babe.
Hello, my sweet. How are you?
I'm good. You?
Not great. I had tonsillitis.
Ah, the worst of the itises.
Yeah.
Fuck tonsillitis.
So,
You
but
okay?
I'm surviving. Yeah.
Good.
I got
Good.
antibiotics today, so hopefully by tomorrow I'm 100%.
There we go. I remember being so sick with it when I was a kid. I begged them to take my tonsils out, but they stopped doing it. They for some reason.
Yeah, now they only do it if it's really necessary.
Yeah, really necessary. I'll give them really necessary. Really necessary is me not getting tonsillitis ever again.
Wouldn't that be great? Well, no, when you have your tonsils removed, you can still get tonsillitis, and when you do get it,
I was
it's
trying to have
more
a good day,
severe. Sorry, it's more severe, but it's less less likely that you will get it. But if you do get it, it's supposedly worse than if you had your tonsils still.
Well, I mean, I'd just try. I would say try and stay away from children, but that's not really going to fly, is it?
No. I've got the little man home with me today.
Little disease factories.
Yeah, pretty
He's
much.
lovely. Right. Paul and Helen.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi,
Is she asleep, or is she just pretending to be asleep?
Well, no, we thought we would approach this space as we have done with many spaces. So she is snoring, and I am lying next to her.
I can hear it. I mean, she's doing a very convincing impression of a snoring person.
It's a couple of minutes ago. It was.
Hang on, is that actually her snore? Hang on.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the best snore ever?
It's a very nose snore.
It's amazing. It's
5
perfect.
5 minutes ago, it was proper.
It's not even loud. It's kind of it's as if a Princess Princess Diana snoring. I don't know where that came from.
Well, yeah, you went a bit off.
Dude, I've been doing rewatches of Gavin and Stacey, and it's really helped me. It's really helped me just my soul. Like, I know it's one, it's James Corden, granted. Two, it's not exactly high art, but then again, I mean, who gives up? Honestly, it's food for the soul at me at the moment.
Very good.
So there's a lot. Obviously, the mentions of Princess Diana.
Well, when she actually asked me about the space, I'll say that you said Sleeping Beauty instead.
Yeah, that's much better.
Better.
Retcon. Okay, good. Teresa, I should probably explain. Although, did you catch it in time?
Well, before that, I have 3 things to say. Number 1, I hosted a space the other night, and no one called anyone a dickhead. Just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
Number 2, Helen snoring is the most dainty and
Isn't it?
sophisticated snore I have ever heard in my entire life. I'm absolutely loving it. And number 3, tonsillitis is not the worst of the itises. Elephantitis is the worst of the itises.
That is very good. Very good. Very good. What's the one where you get huge balls? Is that gigantic?
That's elephantitis.
Oh, no.
I worked on a job with a guy who had elephantitis, and the poor thing, he just smelled horrible.
Oh, God. All right, let's try and keep it light. So as you entered, as you came in, I was explaining to David that not everyone likes being called a dickhead, which I do try to do you know what? No, but this is the thing. I can't. If I offend anyone, I prefer to apologize rather than to go through my life not calling people dickheads. If that's okay, it's meant in the way it end up. It's the spirit of the thing. That's all I'm trying to say.
Put it this way: you're the only person in the entire universe who is allowed and can get away with calling me that word.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is validation. Not vindication, validation. Okay, good. Thank you. Right, it's good to see you. Maladin's here. Stephanie's here as well. Fahad had to go out. Now he's back in. Alfie, shall we kick off? Anti-heroes. Have you got a list up?
Yep.
Okay. I'll go. I'll tell you what. I'll get mine out the way. Mine and Stephanie's out the way. Not that it's not, well, but okay. This is what we've said so far. It is the focus of the drama or the narrative, but a person with what should we say, bad qualities. Let's just say an anti-hero. We can have the Darth Vader debate later. And listen, you're just gonna have to plead your cases. I'm very intrigued to see what Fahad's got already. But let's start. Hopefully these are some good examples. Okay, yes. Now I'll start with Steph's list. Her number 5 is Deadpool. So there we go. Talking of shining examples, bang. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. In Deadpool, that is an anti-hero. I don't think we're prepared to take any further questions at this time. So that's her number 5. Alfie, I'm going with this one, and I had to a lot that I had to bump for this. And I tell you what it is. It is the way that this character looks at Sam Rockwell at the end of the movie when Sam Rockwell tells him something. What movie am I thinking of?
Seven Psychopaths.
You went. Christopher Walken. I can't remember the character's name. He's the Quaker. He's the Quaker, isn't he? I'm not sure if what.
Yeah.
It's a Polish name. But yeah, Christopher Walken. I mean, I could have gone for so many people within Seven Psychopaths, but just for that alone, he's made my number 5. So Christopher Walken in Seven Psychopaths at 5. Okay, Steph's number 4 is Logan from, Logan. It wouldn't have worked. Can we say, and my first instinct on this is that you probably couldn't call him can you call him an anti-hero in the other X-Men movies? I'd say Logan, I think, is the prime example.
I think so.
Okay. All right. Now, my number 4. Oh! My number 4. And again, I lost some absolute barn burners for this one, but I stand by it. I'm going for Aaron Taylor-Johnson as Tangerine in Bullet Train, because your boy finally got round to fucking watching Bullet Train. I had so much fun. That was a great movie. I loved Atomic Blonde. I thought I had problems, but I loved Atomic Blonde, and I was a little bit wary of this one. I fucking love Bullet Train, and he's the best thing in it. Less said about Brian Tyree Henry's accent, the better. But no, Tangerine in Bullet Train at my number 4. Steph's number 3. Now, okay, yeah, V for Vendetta. V from V for Vendetta at 3. And I started to argue. I started thinking, is that? I mean, he's the hero. Like he's just the hero. I mean, he does slaughter quite a lot of people. Like it is, and Stephanie pointed this out to me. Essentially, he does become the monster. That is the message. He is the monster. That is what he is. He is a monster, and he doesn't do good things, and he doesn't have good qualities, but he does have other good qualities. So it's a complex character, but I think it fits the bill. V for Vendetta at 3. What's my number 3? Locke from Locke. Tom Hardy, Stephen Knight, 90-minute car-based thriller. It's an odd one, but he is still technically an anti-hero. I mean, the whole point is that he's done something bad in his life, and the whole point of the movie is this is how he puts it right. And I think that the main thing is that, yes, he puts it right despite all the horrible, heart-wrenching conversations that he has to have during the duration of that movie in that car, on the way to, I can't remember where they were going, Wales? Can't remember. Anyway, the fact is that he's done something bad, but he's putting it right. So he's probably the lower scale of anti-heroes in terms of anti-heroes, but I think he's an important one. All right, that's my number 3. 2 and 1. Oh, fuck. I am going to beat you at these lists one of these days, Steph. I am, but I don't know if it's going to be today. Steph's number 2 is Alejandro Gilic. Gilic or Gilic? If you don't recognize the name, it's the character of Benicio del Toro in Sicario. We don't do spoilers in here, but I think for those of us who have seen it and that final sequence,
Excellent pick.
yeah,
Excellent
it is
pick.
a fucking stone cold, and I mean that in every sense of the word, a stone cold pick. That is one hell of an ending. That is one hell of an ending to that movie. And her number 1, I forgot this one. Fuck. Yeah, but okay, all right. She's gone with Joe from You Were Never Really Here. Joaquin Phoenix and Lynn Ramsey's masterpiece that is You Were Never Really Here. It came up in the diner space that we did, movie diner scenes. Yeah, perfectly put. She said in an interview once that she couldn't think of anyone better to play a role, which is essentially a man with a mind full of glass, mind full of broken glass. Yeah, in no way. I mean, yes, he's a hero in some ways, but yeah. Again, for those who have seen it, it's a tough watch at times, even though it doesn't actually show you anything. But again, that's the genius of Lynn Ramsey. Okay, so Stephanie's 5-1. Deadpool from Deadpool. 4, Logan from Logan. V from V for Vendetta. Alejandro Gilic or Benicio del Toro in Sicario at 2, and number 1 is Joe, Joaquin Phoenix and Lynn Ramsey's You Were Never Really Here. All right. Fuck, I'm not beating this, but I'm gonna have a good go at it. My number 2 is Tahar Rahim. I can't remember the character's name, but from Un Prophet or A Prophet. If anyone has seen Un Prophet. He's a very sympathetic character, but if you've seen that movie in the opening act, he's asked to do which he does, and it's a very layered, very complex, very soulful, very beautiful movie. But he's not a good guy, and he comes out of prison not a good guy either. But I love that character, and I love that movie. So Tahar Rahim from Un Prophet at 2, and then, all right, okay, I started as I mean to go on. It has to be In Bruges. I will open this up to everyone very quickly because there are 3 choices here. Who would you pick? And don't answer if you have them in your list, but for those of you who don't have them in your list, Would you go with Ray? Would you go with Ken? Or would you go with Harry for anti-hero in Bruges? Anyone? Pick one.
The person is in my thing, so I'm not gonna answer that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right, and I think I know just from that which one it is. I'm going with Ray. Ken is clearly an anti-hero too. They're all anti-heroes, I would argue, in that movie. But it has to be Ray. It really has to. So my 5-1. Chris. So Walken in Seven Psychopaths at 5. Tangerine, Aaron Taylor Johnson's in Bullet Train at 4. Locke from Locke at 3. Tahar Rahim from Unprofit at 2. And my number 1 is Colin Farrell's Ray in Bruges. Thank you very much. Right. That's that gone. Alfie, pick some people.
I'll go.
Good. All right. Do you want to go on your own?
No. How many more?
Give me 2. Give me 2 more.
Okay. So Fahad and Ryan.
All right. So we're going Alfie, Fahad, and Ryan. Let me say hi to Rack. What's up, Rack? Just gone through my 5-1 and Stephanie's 5-1 for our top 5 movie anti-heroes. If you've got a list, hold fire and I'll come to you and we will get the lists going. But Alfie's going next. Alfie, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is Mad Max.
From the original?
Yes, the original.
Okay.
From the first Mad Max, to be exact.
I mean, there's a Saw. What would you call it? Saw-esque like position at the end, but he puts the bad guy in, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's not a good guy, but he does get results, and he. I mean, he is Mel Gibson, but then again, all right. Mad Max at 5. Fahad, what's your number 5?
Okay. This is where I was telling you if I make a case for it.
Oh, we're going to get straight to it.
If a person, I kept it at number 5 for a reason. Because, if a guy or a being is trying to basically end half of human suffering, there's a question of morality and personal choice and, things. We could pretty much talk an entire space about it. But I think,
Can I just preempt this by saying that I love the touch in Hawkeye? Did you see in Hawkeye that in Katie's apartment she had a mug and the mug said Thanos was right on it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
People. How many times a day? When you look at Twitter and social media and everything, you say, "Oh, maybe half those people." I don't know.
It depends
that's my number 5.
The problem is, I think, is that there's more than 50% that need to go. All right, number 5. So Thanos, he's gone straight in with Thanos. It's a great start. If you had to choose a movie, it has to be Infinity War, doesn't it?
It's Infinity War, yes. I had already picked Infinity War.
Yeah, it has to be Infinity War. Perfect. Good start. Great start. Ryan, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is Popeye Doyle in French Connection.
Oh, dude. That is a great start.
He gets the job done, but he's a little bit on the racist side.
He is.
Just a little bit. He's like Dirty Harry. He doesn't like anybody.
It's a good start. It's a very strong start. Okay. Good start. So Alfie's gone with Mad Max. Thanos for Fahad. Popeye Dial at 5 for Ryan. Alfie, number 4.
My number 4 is Sissy Spacek in Badlands.
Oh, I still haven't seen Badlands. Oh, tell me about this. Why?
Well, so
I thought it would be more.
Not Martin Sheen. No,
Martin Sheen?
He's the villain of the movie. He's not an anti-hero.
What is it about Sissy Spacek then in this?
Well, so the movie's about Sissy Spacek. She is a teenager in the movie, and she's in a relationship with Martin Sheen's character, who's in his mid-20s, and it's basically of them running off together, but they end up going on this killing spree. I believe in North Dakota, and but Martin Sheen's character, he's pretty much the villain of the movie. So I didn't choose him from the movie because it's really Sissy Spacek's character who's the one who, comes around to those horrible things that he was doing. So she really ends up, doing horrible things in the movie, but she does end up in a good place of acceptance herself at the end of the movie.
And it's the one Malick movie you can say is fast paced, or compared to other stuff
Yeah,
he's done.
I mean, it's his first film, I think. So yeah. It is very different from Malick's other movies.
I think we either lost Skadoosh or he
Sorry,
papers.
I was talking with the fucking mute button on. Absolute dickhead. Have you seen? Would it be a companion piece to something like, let's say, Beast, with Jessie Buckley?
Yes, that would be a good comparison.
Nice. Okay, I have a reference.
Wait, there's another Beast. Island, wasn't there like a Vanessa Hudgens movie called Beast?
There's a few.
Or is this a different one?
There's a few. No, this is definitely
It's
not
the one with Jessie Buckley.
Jessie Buckley, Beast. Oh, I mean, one of these. I don't know, Ryan, if you've got Bull or Neil Maskell down on your list, but that
I have not watched it yet.
Oh, dude. Oh, we'll get to Bull.
It was late. When you suggested it was late.
Bull. It was late. Grow up. All right, so we're saying Sissy Spacek in Badlands for Alfie at 4. What's your next one, Ryan?
Did we skip Fahad?
Yes, we did. We absolutely did. Fahad. So sorry.
All right, my number 4 is Seth Gecko.
Where do I know the name from? Oh, of course, fucking
from Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah,
the brother of a psychopath who's conflicted and still ends up doing some bad shit, and also ends up killing a bunch of.
Who'd have thought that it would be George Clooney that would make the neck tattoo cool?
Did he make it? Did he?
Yeah, of course he did. He has that. I mean, he does, doesn't he? He has the tattoo, doesn't he? Down from the neck, down the shoulder.
Yeah.
It's pretty old school, like tribal, basic bullshit. But no, he did. Yeah, first man. Yeah, I would say so. That's a great shout. George Clooney's Seth Gecko. I mean, listen. All he wanted to do was just to try and get his dickhead brother out of there. And when your dickhead brother is Quentin Tarantino, I mean, sometimes you do just have to put a bullet in them. Anyway, there you go,
By
David.
the way, were you guys surprised at Tarantino's chops in that movie?
I mean, he's. I've got to be honest, further range than I was expecting. I saw that when I was quite young. I was about 12, I think, when I saw it. So it wasn't until many years later that you look back at it with a more critical eye. I think he was better in Desperado. He's in Desperado, isn't he? He's in the scene in the toilet. Yeah, I thought he was better in Desperado, but he does hold his own. He does. That's a great point, actually. Very well made.
Well, he also kind of holds his own in Reservoir Dogs, but then again, it's him. That's literally him talking. That's not.
Yeah, it's the same thing as Jimmy in Pulp Fiction, and his role in Death Proof. He plays pretty much Tarantino in all of those.
Apart from when he's deciding that he's going to attempt a fucking despicable Australian accent in fucking. No, we don't need to talk about that. Let's not move. Let's not talk about that. I was having a good day. All right, dude. That's
one thing I do want to mention. So I think I was also the same age when I watched From Dusk Till Dawn. Mm-hmm. And that was our introduction to Salma Hayek. Just want to put a shout out there,
Dude, I mean, I'm trying to think of a more schizophrenic movie. like a movie that is so clearly two different movies in one. Obviously, you know, Quentin Tarantino obviously probably did the first half. Rodriguez takes over as soon as they get to the titty twister. But that is
like
two
if you saw, I believe the trailer knows that it's a vampire movie. So like the first hour, there are no vampires, and if you didn't know what it was about, going because like, oh, it's the ER guy. And it's like, this is a nice, cool, slow burn crime drama, and then all of a sudden it's a vampire movie.
Which is exactly it. Now, even at the age of 12, I'd seen Natural Born Killers before I'd seen From Dusk Till Dawn. But, I mean, nothing really truly prepares you, I think, if you don't know that it's coming, what happens halfway through that movie. It is spectacular.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's and in some ways, I mean, we're talking about things that are funny. That's funny. That's funny how that movie kind of just turns on a dime, and then heads go flying across the the fucking bar. All right, Seth Gecko at number 4. Ryan, what's your 4?
I'm gonna get shit for it, but I checked it. It's a movie.
You
but,
checked it?
Yeah. Jesse Pinkman, El Camino. So yes, it's based on a character from a TV show.
No, it works.
But
it works.
because it's the movie sequel, and it did play in theaters.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a movie.
Ryan made such a good case. Like, we're at the Oscars. Like, it was in the theaters for a couple of days.
Oh, the PR has kicked in still.
And it was shot in 235.
It's another tidbit. All right, Jesse. No, 100%. Weird that still, I think the first perception of Jesse when people think back to his character, because he is the heart of the show. And obviously Walter White, Breaking Bad is, I mean, the clue is in the name, but it's where he loses his humanity. But Jesse always seems to retain a small part of it, even though he does do despicable things. So, dude, yeah, 100%. He's an anti-hero. Great shout. Jesse Pinkman. Big Jesse P. All right, Alfie, back to you. Number 3.
My number 3 is Dread.
Oh, dude.
Nice.
Dude. Now, is he an anti?
Yeah.
Does he? Okay. Well, tell me why. Why is he an anti-hero?
Because he is.
Shoot first, take names later.
He's Judge Dredd.
But I mean, within the confines of the law, I mean, he's acting lawfully. I don't know why I'm defending Judge Dredd.
You're not supposed to like shoot people in real life. You're supposed to like give them
a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a solid point, one which I endorse and echo. All right, okay, Dredd. So Carl Urban's Dredd, which is essentially
not Stallone.
I mean, I'm assuming, Alfie, you're going with the correct option.
Carl Urban.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Carl Urban's Dredd. The whole problem with Sylvester Stallone's the whole point of Dredd is that he never takes off his fucking helmet. That's the whole point. What happens 10 minutes into the movie? Off it comes. Of course it does, because you've got to see the fish. That was awful. All right, 3 for Fahad, please.
Oh, my 3 is Lou Bloom from Nightcrawler.
Oh, my answer.
That's your 3 as well, Ryan.
Should I change it?
No. I reckon keep it and you both go. Like, I love
would the Riz Ahmed character count as an act, because he does kind of go along with it once
I don't think he's an anti-hero, because he is still essentially a side character. I think he's really the young, dumb, bumbling apprentice, isn't he? Who I think actually ultimately makes the right decision in the end. Ends up,
paying for it.
But Fahad, I mean, he looks hungry in that movie. He deliberately starved himself, because that's what the director wanted. I think that's what they wanted. They wanted someone who looked Just
I
on
didn't know that.
the credible side of deranged.
And yeah, he definitely played the part.
Great shout. Okay, Nightcrawler for both of you at 3. All right, Alfie.
Did you see the where he's going to be a UFC fighter in
Yeah, he's been he's been using his connections. They've been using the last UFC event. He was there. Yeah, what's that for?
Roadhouse. They're remaking Roadhouse. And he's playing he's playing Dalton. So Dalton goes from being a bar bouncer to an ex-UFC fighter, I guess.
Just make a different movie. Just make another movie. Just make a different movie. It doesn't need to be connected to Roadhouse. I mean, it's already so far away from it.
I think it's the opposite way, Ryan. I think he is a UFC fighter, and then life kicks him in the ass, and then he becomes a club bouncer.
Okay, I know, but just make that movie. Just make that movie. It doesn't need to be connected to Roadhouse. I think I'm picking.
Well, we always had Ronda Rousey as the female Dalton, but she got her ass kicked, and the rest is history.
Oh God, that was
They've been trying to remake. They've been trying to remake it for several years.
Yeah, Holly Holmes head kick. Oh,
yep.
I'll never quite forget it. A thing of beauty. Speaking of things of beauty, Alfie, what's your 2 and 1, please?
My number 2 is The Bride from Kill Bill.
Yes. Okay.
Holy shit! How did I fucking not include that in my
think
list?
of that one? So, volume 1 or volume 2?
I like volume 1 better.
Yeah, that's the right answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the right answer. Uma Thurman really hasn't done much since then, has she? I don't know if she's taken a back seat.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I know she got hurt during there's like a big car the car scene. She fucked her back up pretty badly.
The footage of that is online. It's quite fucking scary.
Would she be considered an anti-hero because she is going for revenge, or is it just the whole purpose of it?
I mean, again, but then you can argue that same argument at nearly every other choice, really. I mean, she's done bad stuff. She's done bad stuff, and she does further bad stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm sure at least one bystander catches it in Kill Bill. They must do. All right, that's your 2, Alfie. What's your number 1?
And my number 1 is Al Pacino in Dog Day Afternoon.
Now we're talking. Oh, I love that movie. I haven't seen that in fucking ages. Oh, okay. I have a feeling Al Pacino might come up in other movies, but Dog Day Afternoon. That's a great choice, dude. Great choice. All right, Alfie's 5 to 1 was Mad Max at 5, Sissy Spacek from Badlands at 4, Carl Urban's Dread, definitely that Dread, from Dread at 3, The Bride from Kill Bill Volume 1 at 2, and Al Pacino in Dog Day Afternoon at 1. Beautiful. Fahad, your 2 and 1, please.
All right, my 2 is V for Vendetta. Yay! I think it's going to come up a few times.
Oh,
I'm sure.
Yeah.
He is almost the ultimate anti-hero.
100%. Beautiful. And what's number 1?
My number 1 is a bit biased because I've been in love with that character since I was a kid.
Okay.
It's Harley Quinn. If I need to be specific to a movie, I could say Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey, yeah. I would, that's the perfect choice. I think that movie got a bit of a bad rap, if I'm honest. I enjoyed Birds of Prey.
I loved that movie. I don't know. I think I was very high when I watched it in the theater, and I loved it. All those colors when she was shooting people with her shotgun.
Quick question: Margot Robbie or Kaylee Cuoco?
Can anyone hear me?
We can hear you. Indeed, yes. Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Gail? Papa, can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear us.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Do you want to build? How did we get from Harley Quinn to there?
I think they're both great in their own platforms. Like I do love the show on HBO. I think I've watched every episode.
Kaylee Cuoco, I think, gets weirdly enough more to do She gets much better lines, I think, than what Margot Robbie's given. But it's a great show.
We also have Gaga to look forward to next year.
Oh, don't we just? Every day is Christmas Eve. All right. So for Had's
Exactly.
so number 5 for Had was Thanos from Infinity War. Seth Gecko at number 4 from Dusk Till Dawn. Number 3, what's his name again? Lou something.
Lou Bloom.
Lou Blue from Nightcrawler. Jake Gyllenhaal's Lou Blue from Nightcrawler. Hugo Weaving's V from V for Vendetta at 2, second mention, and Harley Quinn. We're going for Birds of Prey. Lovely, beautiful. Nightcrawler. Ryan, your 2 and your 1, please.
My number 2 is Ode Sue in Old Boy.
Oh. I mean, I knew it was going to get dark at places, but okay, we're back to Old Boy again. Wonderful. I mean, what is the character name? What is he called?
That is the character name, Ode Sue.
Ode Sue. From Old Boy. Oh, obviously, we're not talking about the Spike Lee version because that doesn't exist.
No, that doesn't exist. Also, it's a different character name. Or at least I think it is.
Just go and make your own new movie.
I want to see Spike Lee's director's cut because apparently they cut like 45 minutes out of the movie, and that's why it's not a Spike Lee joint. It's just a movie he did.
Right. Okay. What's your number 1?
My number 1 is Patrick Bateman.
Yeah. Now. I guess now we're talking like when I was saying about Locke, is that Locke from Locke he's doing all the right things to the point where he's almost too good. Is this the other side of that coin? Is that we say like is he the anti? He's the focus of the drama.
In his mind, he is.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. Because at the end, like the whole thing where he's getting caught out and the police and everything, and yeah, I know you're right. Yeah, no, you're 100% right, dude. That's a hell of a list. All right, French Connections, Papa Doyle at 5, Jesse Pinkman from El Camino at 4. Another mention for Lou Blue at 3, Nightcrawler, Ode Sue from Old Boy at 2. Oh, look at that. And number 1 is Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. Guys, you didn't disappoint. I still think my list is no, it's not doing well. It's not really standing up. I think Fahad's is outstanding. So far. Both good lists as well for Alfie and Ryan. Alfie, where are we going next? Can we go Paul and Helen?
Yes. And Chloe.
Yeah. Now, Paul.
I don't know if both had 1 list or 2 lists.
Yeah, let's find out. Hello, Paul.
We've got 1 between us.
Lovely. Okay, so give me 1 more.
Hey, can I say something to Paul before he starts?
Oh, whoa,
hey, Paul.
Yeah.
Whoa.
The right way to snore is this.
Yes, it is the right way. It is the most appropriate way. Because if you're going to do something, do it properly.
I think that's probably my snore.
Is it
of
really?
course, all you men think that it's okay to snore like that. But can I just point out, for the women that have to lay next to you, it's not nice.
Believe me, I'm not
Be
snoring because
happy
I
if we
want
don't
to.
smother you with a pillow.
Exactly.
I'm not snoring because I want to. Let's leave it at that.
And this is the thing. Is it
I don't
even
want to
really?
hear your excuses.
I think Fahad actually has a point because I don't think what Helen's doing is technically a snore. Medically, I think what she's doing is breathing heavily through her nose.
She's just heavy breathing.
Is there a doctor in the movie writing space?
Not yet. We had one hell of a lawyer. We could do with like getting some more professions, more like.
Maybe that should be the next movie rankings. Movie doctors.
Oh,
best snores.
Write that down.
Can I just say as well though that Helen has partially woken up now, and
okay,
she thinks She thinks that you're all laughing at her snore, but it was called Dainty.
It was
No, Helen. I love your snore. It's sophisticated and dainty, and Paul should be a very happy man.
It's not even a snore.
For
Helen,
me, it was
I'd let
more
you
of a
sleep next to me
jealousy.
any day.
It's not a snore. It's not a snore. It's not a snore. It's not even a snore.
He's so cute.
Right. Okay. So we're going Paul and Helen and Chloe, and give me another one as well, please. Dave, can we go with David? Can we go with Dave?
Sure. Yeah.
Excellent. Right, Paul and Helen, give me some anti-heroes. Give me your 5, please.
Yeah. Well, I tried to shoehorn Hatch in from Escape to Victory, but I couldn't do it.
Can't. Doesn't work.
So I've changed it. You don't know this.
Oh, right, okay.
So number five is Edward Norton in Fight Club.
Another Fight. Okay, Fight Club was always coming. I'm glad you've gone. Well, I mean, it is. No, hang on. No, can't say that. But Edward Norton, yeah.
His character is called the narrator.
Very diplomatically put. I'm incredibly impressed. Excellent. Edward Norton in Fight Club at 5. Beautiful. Okay, Chloe, give me your number 5.
Okay, warning. I think I've gone pretty basic on all of mine, so feel free to call me a basic bitch if you want to.
I would never. I wouldn't dream of it.
Oh, you would.
I mean, let's just see how we go. Let's just see how we go.
My number 5 is Venom.
Yeah.
Don't you snort and grumble at me?
I'm not. It's a great choice. It's a great choice. I mean, it is. I mean, it is. I mean, it's okay. It's so bad. Listen.
You know what? You can't say shit because I messaged you earlier asking you, and you agreed.
I said 100,000%.
So you can't change it now.
I'm not saying it doesn't count. I'm not saying it doesn't count. I'm not saying that it's not basic. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
It's definitely basic.
All right, Venom.
All of mine are.
Excellent. Okay, David, what did you go for? Number 5.
My number 5, I have it right here, is going to be Venom. I know. That was not done. We didn't, that was coincidence.
Oh, David, we're twinsies.
I knew it was coming.
Basic brothers. Lovely. Okay, I love it when this happens, and it happens all the time.
It gets better, though. I promise you it gets better.
I don't think it's a bad choice. I think it's a stone cold choice. It's like choosing The Matrix for your top 5 movies from 1999. It is a stone cold, absolute classic, and therefore it absolutely counts. And it's a bit basic. Number 4, Paul and Helen, please. Oh, let me say hi to Mazar. Hi, brother. We talk about movies and stuff, and we're going around, and everyone's got lists. So the only thing you need to do is enjoy the space, have fun, try not to be offended. Although that's not really that's on me. That's on me. Which I don't know if this is going to get, but we'll see. It's a safe space. It's not a safe space. But if you've got a 5, put your hand up, and we'll come to you. But Paul and Helen are on their number 4.
We are. It's Parker in Payback.
Ooh, Parker in Payback. Oh my
With the Gibbs.
God, this is like the 4th time in a row. I mean, I wasn't going to call you out on it. And this is Helen. This is Helen, isn't it?
No, we both.
I thought his name was Porter.
Oh, Porter.
I thought it was Porter, not Parker.
Don't give them any more incentive to watch it again. It's all right.
Have you seen the straight?
Right,
have you seen the straight hard cut? Have you seen the shorter director's cut?
No,
it doesn't have the narration, and it's not in blue.
Is it? I mean, is it so short that it takes Mel Gibson out of it entirely?
No.
It
cuts about 10 minutes out of the movie.
And
it has like the last 20 minutes are completely different.
Do you know what? I wish that I've seen Eurovision, because I'm just thinking there must be an anti-hero in there somewhere. That's what's coming next. All right, Porter from Payback. Again, another mention, Mel Gibson. All right, I need to get this off my chest, and I need to say thank you to anyone who voted in Best Picture Cast's tournament of action movies. The Raid went out against Lethal Weapon, but I know a lot of you sprang to the cause, so I want to thank you for that. All I will say is that Lethal Weapon, I think, is now about to lose to, I can't remember, The Great Escape or something like that. It's about to lose to it. So I'm kind of happy with that, but I don't feel happy with The Raid going out in the first round. But thank you all to that. Speaking of movies with... all right, number 4, Chloe. Okay.
What?
No,
You say my name and you already laugh.
No, I did. I'm just intrigued. I'm intrigued.
My number 4 is Punisher.
Oh,
now, I mean, like, I didn't so much pick it for the movie because I mean, you know, it's the movie, but I definitely love the Netflix series of it.
Okay.
So it was kind of like, but it's on my list because I do like the Punisher.
All right, fair enough.
I was going to say before I go, I checked the next or the best picture ranking. It's between Lethal Weapon and Heat, and Heat has Steve. Check the top.
It's not.
I put it up there.
What?
So vote for Heat.
Okay,
absolutely. Good call there, Ryan.
Yeah, I think
71 to 29.
It had its. Listen, I've got nothing against Lethal Weapon, but do you know what? It's Lethal Weapon. My argument is Lethal Weapon.
But
Lethal
actually,
Weapon,
you know,
and the Raid
Lethal
is
Weapon
the Raid.
It spawned a whole bunch of buddy movies. Buddy cop. I mean, think of all the buddy cop movies we wouldn't have today. Hollywood Homicide.
No,
you know,
hang on.
Anthony Hopkins,
They
Chris
didn't
Rock.
invent. I would argue, David, that they didn't invent buddy cop movies. I said they did it well.
Okay, I stand corrected.
But the Raid is the Raid. The Raid is a game. The Raid is
Okay.
a game changer. Like without the Raid, there's no John Wicks. There's no Atomic. Yeah.
Touché.
No, you're right. Yeah. All right, where are we? Let's get back on track. Let me see how we've. Jesus, loads of people in. Mazar, I've said hello to. 24 Cuadros Prospec or Cuadros Segundo. Hi. We're talking movies. We're talking about anti-heroes. Everyone's got a list. If you've got a list, stick your hand up. I just need 5. Let's crack on with the lists. Chloe's is Punisher at number 4. David, what's your 4?
My 4 is Steve Jobs.
Ooh, of course. Oh, dude, I should have seen that coming. We're not talking about Ashton Kutcher, are we?
No, hell no. Hell no.
No, we're not. We're talking about Michael Fassbender in Danny Boyle's. Is it just Jobs or Steve Jobs?
It's Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs, isn't it? Oh, dude, I mean, anti-hero.
He is kind of a prick.
I mean, not even kinda. I mean, I thought the MVP from that movie, other than Kate Winslet, I thought Seth Rogen's, what's his name? Steve.
Wozniak.
Wozniak.
Yeah. I thought his Wozniak was brilliant because it's such an important part of the movie is that Danny Boyle nails it with you have to see him as the legitimately unbearable bellend that he is, that character, but he also manages to twist you back round towards the end so that you're going to, yeah, but fuck, we kind of need those people. And yes, they're bellends, but fuck, I mean, they do push the world forward. They do. Yeah. But that's a great shout, David.
Thank you.
Absolutely outstanding. Paul and Helen, number 3.
Sorry. Okay. Well, it's not. We've approached it at a different angle for number 3 and number 2.
Mm-hmm.
So number 3, I've gone. We've gone Mahoney in the First Police Academy.
Right.
So
Okay. Do you want to explain how Steve Guttenberg has bad qualities to me, to my face? Do you? Come on, I'm all ears. I'm all ears.
He's
a git in the first one.
Yeah, he can't keep a job down. He's lazy. He gets done by the police again.
Oh, actually, you might have a fucking point. Fuck. Yeah.
And they send him to the police academy where he just, lectures over women and.
He's a git.
Yeah.
Convinced.
I would say Tackleberry for sure, but not Mahoney.
I love Mahoney.
Gene, his full name, Officer Gene Tackleberry. Officer Gene. Okay, you have kind of convinced me on that one, actually. Yeah, he does lecture, but other than that, and yes.
And he's totally self-obsessed with just getting out of the police academy.
That's a good point. No civic spirit. What a cock.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And I'm intrigued to see what your number 2 is, but I'm going to go to Chloe for hers next.
My number 3 is Blade.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Okay. You have gone very blunt at this list.
Told you.
Ironic that, it is Blade that we. That's a stone cold. That's another. These are. Yes. Very good. They fit the bill.
Oh, that's what I figured.
Does he become? Is he? There's no real personal growth, really, is there? In Blade, I guess maybe one of his bad traits. He just is Blade the entire time.
He's just Blade. That's right.
Yeah. If you're named after a tool is all you're going to be, isn't it? I guess.
Exactly.
Good shout. Number 3. Okay, David, what's your 3?
My number 3 is Michael Corleone.
Now, oof, and you've put him at 3. Wow,
I have,
dude. That's a great. Okay, all right. Yes, from The Godfather, obviously Al Pacino's Michael Corleone. Someone pointed out to me the other day that he barely has any lines in the first movie, and actually not that much more in the second one. But he has no dialogue, literally no dialogue in it. And again, it's kind of a credit to the actor, isn't it? The fact of what one of the greatest anti-heroes of all time, still in your number 3. But dude, do you remember the first time you saw The Godfather?
Oh wow, yeah, I do. I went to my public library, and this is going to date me, so forgive me. This is the years when VHS was still around, and you could get free. You could just renting a library book. So Godfather 3 had not come out yet; it was still being made. So I wanted to sit, and I was actually in a film class where we watched movies, and so I wanted to sit down. We were actually watching it in class, and of course, it was only 30 some odd minutes. And you know how long the movie is. It's over 3 hours. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to be able to watch the whole thing. So I went down to my public library and I rented not only The Godfather, but I rented The Godfather Part 2.
Oh, wow. Double bubble.
And I did a double feature in one day.
Dude. Oh, that warms my heart, dude. That warms my heart. And listen, I have a similar one. I told you when I was 12, in one night, I watched Bad Boys followed by Point Break. It's good times. Good times.
Yeah.
All right. Dude, that's a great shout at number 3. Okay, Paul and Helen, bring it home for us. 2 and 1.
Very contrasting 2s and 1s.
Well, hang on. Let's just think. Okay. Is Eurovision in this?
Oh, you know what? I wish we'd maybe. No, Eurovision's not in it.
No, we couldn't make it fit.
Okay, but I'm trying to think about anti-heroes from Back to the Future.
No,
couldn't really think of any, to be honest.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I'm being basic here. What's your number 2?
What are you laughing at? This Kids are git.
Well, yeah, I know, but yeah, well,
What?
it's only because we watched it.
Oh, hang on. Are you
this
going with?
day.
Are you going with the weird belief that Daniel Caruso is the antagonist in Karate Kid?
I am not gonna. Cobra Kai can kiss my ass.
Yes.
It's Miyagi all the way.
Yes. Miyagi Dojo. Miyagi
Yeah,
Dojo all the way.
No, this our number 2 is Ferris Bueller.
Oh, 100%. He's an utter bellend.
Yeah.
Utter bellend. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We I actually watched that today with Erin, and she liked it.
Oh, now, speaking of movies that don't hold up, like when you watch them when you were a kid, I mean, Ferris Bueller is one of them. The Breakfast Club is another. I did tweet about this. I was convinced that Varsity Blues is a classic. You know the movie I'm talking about?
I've heard of it, not watched it.
James Van Der Beek.
The one with the whipped cream bikini.
The one with the whip. Thank you. Had to be you, didn't it? Had to be you.
Only thing I remember from that movie. Only.
Yeah, and that's probably the only good thing in it. I honestly went back and watched it, and I've never been so shocked. How bad. I mean, how bad it really is.
Is
Paul
it
Walker? It has Paul Walker in it.
Is it kind of? Oh right, okay. Maybe it's not.
Dude, it's Remember the
like
Titans.
Porky's,
It's Remember the Titans meets fucking what's it called?
Porky's.
Yeah, American Pie, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and now listen. And the thing is that just a few days earlier, I'd rewatched The Fast and the Furious, which holds up 100%. It holds up, even though it's bad in so many ways. It's a great experience still watching it again. Watching Varsity Blues, just and Ferris Bueller is also a cock.
Good movie.
And who's the guy? What's his name? Alan Connor from Succession. Who's his mate?
Cameron.
Alan Ruck.
That's it, Alan Ruck.
Cameron, his name is. Yeah.
When he lays into him at the end, I'm a big fan of that part of that movie. He is an anti-hero. He is a cock. What's your number 1?
We're back. We're back on. We'll come back on the track now, won't we?
All right.
Come back on the track, and
really good film.
And it's
excellent.
It's Leon.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's good. Okay. Jean Reno.
Natalie Portman.
What's the pig? What's the pig called? The snuffly pig. Doesn't matter. Problematic movie.
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman, yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah. There is some snorting going on with Gary Oldman. That bit where he does that, where he takes the pill and cracks his neck to the side. Like, I know it's him chewing scenery, but what chewing and what scenery. Yes, Leon, great shout. Okay, so you're 5-1. You went Edward Norton in Fight Club, the narrator from Fight Club at 5. Porter, Mel Gibson's Porter in Payback. Just once, would you give me a list without fucking Mel Gibson on it, please?
What's your issue with Mel Gibson?
Oh, that's another.
I particularly like him, but I like the film.
Number 3, Mahoney, which I speaking of looking at characters in a whole new way, that's just opened many doors in my mind. At 3, number 2, Ferris Bueller, spot on, and Leon at number 1, perfect. Thank you both so much.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll drop out and let other people come in.
Thank you very much.
Hi and bye, and I'll be quiet next time.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare! Love you to pieces. All right. See you two. See you two dickheads later. All right. Number 2, Chloe, and then your number 1.
My number 2 is Harley Quinn.
Oh, do you know what? She's actually going to end up beating Fahad's list at this rate. I mean, this is how you. I mean, you can't win. Obviously, we know you can't win, but. I mean, you are kind of winning. What? I mean,
I'm a winner. I always win, even when I lose.
Oh, All right, Coach Nate. What's your number
But
one?
Harley Quinn, obviously there's Birds of Prey, but then there's also Suicide Squad, which I love her in
She is
all
the
of those
best
as
part.
well.
Yeah, she is the best part
She
of that
is.
movie. It's not saying
She
much,
is.
but she is the best part. Okay,
Yeah.
what's number one?
My number one is the most basic of the basic, which is Deadpool.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you have steamrolled this list. Your approach to this is perfect. Venom, Punisher, Blade, Harley Quinn, Deadpool, mic drop.
Yeah. Exactly how it should be done.
It's so basic. She is one. Listen, I applaud you. I love you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now I'm actually going to go because Murdoch's gone for a nap, so I'm going for a nap.
Okay, all right, go for a nap.
That's how
Rest.
parental life works.
Yeah, thank you. Yep, good. It's good to know. Good to know you look after and love your children.
I do.
It's
Literally
the least you can do. But I love you. Thank you so much. Speak to you soon.
Enjoy.
Cheers, darling.
Talk soon.
Let's go. Let's keep going. Let's finish it up, David. Your 2 and 1, please.
My number 2 is Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, ooh. You've got me there. Oh, dude, that's brilliant. That's absolutely. Oh, because I'm trying to find a way that he's not, but he is. No, he is. He's not a villain. He's not. He is a villain. But can someone help me out here? Can someone help me out here?
He's not. People. But he's not the villain. Nah, he's not the villain of Silence of the Lambs.
He's never the villain.
So he's an anti-hero, absolutely.
He
definitely is the anti-hero in Hannibal.
100%. And
yeah.
But this is the thing.
I'm actually picking him from Silence of the Lambs, by the way. I'm not picking him from Hannibal.
Sure. Like with an asterisk. Sure, with an asterisk.
I think it still works. I think it's dude, it's an absolutely flawless choice. Dude, you've snuck up here. I mean, you've done okay. David is in the running, I think, for one of the best lists of the night. What's your number one?
He is the ultimate anti-hero, and it's not Deadpool. But I'm going to think of somebody else that's already been said, and that's Thanos.
Listen, I think we didn't give Thanos perhaps the what's the word? Introspection.
The credit he's due?
Well, yeah, but I mean, no. I mean, no. Let's also remember he's taking now. Would you say that?
Who's giving Thanos the anti-hero status?
I am.
Yeah, he's not alone.
David, what is wrong with you?
Fahad as well. I mean, you can never trust.
Well, I mean, he's an anti-hero because
I made a case for it, Kale.
He's an anti-hero because even in the scene where, he's talking with Gamora, okay, he basically says that, I wiped out 50% of the population. So, when I came to your world, there was, you went to bed hungry. And then, when I came there, now there are, full bellies and everything else. He wiped out half, even having the other conversation with her. And it's like, you don't know that it needs. I'm the only one. So he's wiping out 50% of the population, so the other 50% of the population can thrive.
But this is the whole point about it: is that who on this planet should have that responsibility? Who deserves
that's the
to make that
decision of it, though.
That's it. But the problem,
and she says, you can't make that decision. He says, I'm the only one that can make that decision. He's doing it for the greater good.
But his actions are even dumb. Like, they don't really add up because then the whole world, they're just going to repopulate it back up. Like, it's
right.
You're basically putting a band-aid to a problem.
This is where that Spock quote comes in. It's the one of the
greater good.
The greater the good. Yeah,
the greater good. Listen,
yeah.
I love that you chose
So
Spock, but
The
everyone's
what
greater
he's
thinking about
doing
Buzz.
is the
Greater
one
good.
for the many.
I think. Listen, genocide should be frowned upon.
Absolutely.
Call me old fashioned. All right,
Yes.
call me
Very
old fashioned.
obvious. Yes.
Call me a prude, but genocide, not so good.
No, I definitely am on the side of genocide should never happen under any circumstances.
Who thought we'd be defending non-genocide this evening?
So, in conclusion, I think the actions that Thanos takes and took was for the greater good of the universe.
In his mind.
Oh, he may be a hero. He may, and he was
Well,
called a
villain.
madman.
I mean, my argument would be he's an almost stone cold villain.
Yeah, but
He
at
is
the
a
same
villain.
time, he's doing it for the greater good of the universe.
Listen. There's a reason it's come up twice. We've had Nightcrawler come up twice. We've had V for Vendetta twice. We've had Harley Quinn twice. We've had Venom twice. 3 times now, I think.
Lord, I should have.
Kale, hold it together,
left
brother.
sooner.
Hold it together. But listen. I gave people the opportunity to
Well,
make their arguments.
you're the final judge here, Skadooosh. Yay or
No,
nay?
I'm not going to judge on it. I think if I had to, I would actually probably lean towards you more than the other way around.
Okay.
Only with
But
those
slightly.
but the line being between an actual stone cold villain and an anti-hero.
Right, I would agree with you.
I think he is perhaps more over the line into an anti-hero than he is a stone cold. But
I think the other thing too is we can use so many different metaphors and analogies. The ends justify the means. So he's doing justify the means that everybody's going to be able to survive and thrive.
Only so much as that actually but I mean, by that logic, you would be devastated by the end of Endgame that they won, because the whole point is that you actually go that the heroes fight back, because the heroes
absolutely,
fighting back,
and that's what made Infinity War such a ballsy movie, to end it on the plot point of no return.
I think the key to Thanos' character, and actually,
there's a lot of different.
No. I think
things.
You absolutely nailed it with what you mentioned about Gamora, because I think the key thing with Thanos' character, and we will move on very quickly after this, but is actually at the beginning of Endgame is what happens at the very beginning of Endgame, and the way that scene is portrayed, and I think the overall emotion when you come out the other end of that scene is kind of melancholy and sad. It's not a joyful occasion. It's not a joyful thing. What happens to you? It's kind of bittersweet and sad, and I think that's what pushes me over the line from thinking he's not just a villain. I think it's more complicated. But still, genocide bad. just gonna talking of disclaimers. All right, brother. Thank you so much. All right, those are Paul and Helen's and Chloe's and David's lists. Let me get cracking. Let me say hi. Hi to Saria. Hi to Cinemaniac. And Mazan's back. What's up, bye? All right, let's move on. We're gonna go. Alfie, what do you reckon? Matthew, Kale, Teresa, Anthony?
Yeah.
Let's do all 4 at once. All 4.
Also, Melody, I tried to accept for the mic, but I don't know why it's not working. So maybe if you want to talk, maybe if you can leave and come back and we can try again.
I've invited. Let's see if we can. Yeah, let's fix that if we can. Maybe go and come back. Yeah. I want to know what's on your list. Matthew's going to go first. Oh, hang on, I haven't said hi to Anthony, my squeaky man. Oh,
hello.
My squeaky man.
Nothing squeaky today, but here I am.
How are you? How's Michael?
Good. We're finishing cooking dinner, so I was like, perfect timing to get on here. So
what are you having?
We're having hot dogs today.
Oh my god! Are you going gourmet or are you going basic? And listen,
I mean, they're bun size.
Wow. I mean, already that's wrong because technically they should be bigger than the thumb. I mean, okay, fine, good. I mean,
some tater tots. We were like, maybe we'll make a salad, but we just made some green beans. It's a lazy day. It's a day off. We're not making food. It's a hot dog day.
No, I know you're making me hungry again.
Does this make me the anti-hero today?
This is, I mean, it's not a bad quality making me hungry. Trust me, it's not a bad quality. I'm sure you've got a plethora of other bad qualities, but we'll get to that another day.
Yeah, that's for a different space, yeah.
That's a different space. All right, so you're going to go after Matthew, Kale's going to go after you, and then Teresa is going to go after Kale. Matthew, give me your number 5, please.
I almost read the wrong list, so... I almost read my 2024 predictions. So
that would have made very interesting reading.
Yeah. My number 5 is the Terminator from the Terminator movie, specifically the first one.
The first one. How is that an anti... How...
Yes, he is technically the hero. But yeah, he's like...
Not in the first one. In the first one, he's clearly the villain.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to. It's very rare that this happens, but I agree with Ryan on this one. I would have said up until 5 seconds ago, that he's a. I tell you what, Matthew, explain to me how he's an anti-hero.
Yeah,
he has no conscience.
Yeah, he has no conscience. He's doing all these bad things, but yeah, he's like the main hero in the film. No, this isn't going well.
No. It's interesting. No, I think you nailed it with the fact that he doesn't have consciousness.
Yeah, my 5th spot was by far the weakest one for me. Because my 4 up is way better, and I have better explanations for it. My 5th spot changed 5 million times. Like, it was Kick-Ass at one point, and then it was...
Dude,
and then it was Mark Zuckerberg.
I'd rather people take a fucking swing and miss. But
that's exactly what happened.
I was yanking your chain. I actually had Terminator on my list as well. So don't worry about it.
I wish I had
maybe
time
not
to
the
get
first
into this.
movie, but
I mean,
I would definitely consider him an anti-hero.
Okay, all right.
Now you're cooking, Matthew.
Now we're cooking. All right.
Now I'm using my brain.
Now we're going. Anthony, give me your number 5.
My number 5 is Hit Girl from Kick-Ass.
Yes. Yay! Listen, there's nothing funnier than small children swearing.
I mean, there's a lot of her scenes that are just like embedded in my brain, like from first seeing them, let alone many rewatches. So
it's the flick knife scene for me. If I gotta be honest.
The year that movie came out, I probably watched it like 20 times in a row. I love that movie. And don't forget, Nicolas Cage was awesome in that movie too.
Because Roger Ebert infamously gave it 1 star only because of Hit Girl saying the C word.
And yeah, but I mean, okay, that's one person's opinion. I think it's a great shout. I think there's also a shout for another character very closely related to. Just say it. Nick Cage actually in that movie has a shout as well. I think that's one of his best performances. But dude, Hit Girl from Kick-Ass, that's a great one. Kale, keep things going. It's 5.
Hello. Okay, so number 5. I am going to go with, and this is a massive swing. Matthew thought he went for the fences. This is going to be a big one because I'm going to have to really explain this one. It is Dominic Toretto from the first Fast and the Furious movie.
100%, 100%, 100%, 100%.
Yeah, because you can make an argument that the franchise now pits him as a hero in later sequels, but that first movie, he really is an anti-hero. He's a thief. He kind of like he's a womanizer. I mean, he's like, he's just like, he's not a very good person, but he's very committed to family. That kind of balances out the villainy.
He's very committed to family, despite his catchphrase being "I live my life quarter mile at a time," which means basically I
One
take
of the
care of
best
number one.
lines ever written. By the way, was he? I don't think he really gave a shit about family in the first one, right?
He doesn't. He absolutely doesn't. Oh, dude, I can't wait for you. But so yeah, Kale and myself and Marley got into this.
Yeah, when does that drop?
That drops on March 21st, next Tuesday.
Let's just say I had a lot of fun. He's not a good person. He's actually quite a bad person. He's quite a selfish individual. He's a criminal, and he also likes to play kind of his social politics. The way he treats Vinny, his best friend since they were little kids, and in waltzes a very pretty Paul Walker, Brian with his serial killer name,
Brian O'Connor.
Yeah, and he chooses Brian O'Connor. He does, doesn't he? He fucks Vinny off. Absolutely disgusting behaviour. I think that's a great shout and 100% accurate. Dom Toretto.
Brian could drive. He could drive.
Yeah, you got a heavy foot. You had me? You never had your car.
It doesn't matter if you're winning by an inch or a mile. Winning is winning.
Listen, and also let's not forget. And speaking of, you missed it at the beginning. Ja Rule was my intro song for tonight's space. Ja Rule has one of the greatest lines I think of all time, which is, "You know what? It's not about how you stand next to your car. It's how you drive your car. No shit. No shit. No shit. Really? We're here to drive them? To drive? Like, actually, no."
I haven't watched that movie. I haven't watched that movie in a long time.
Do it.
And listen, I am not a fan of Ja Rule, and all I could just hear him say in that movie was in his Ja Rule tone, "Menage."
No, it's Monica, isn't it? Oh no, he does do. No, he does do.
No, he said menage because there's a couple of women who kind of offer him something before the drive.
Menage.
It's a cultural artifact. It's a cultural artifact of its time.
I had a great time. I had a fucking great time. I made 8 pages of notes, dude. I loved watching that.
And for those wondering, yes, the podcast is longer than the actual movie. For those curious.
But then again, it's the short one of the series. It's only like 100 minutes. So yes, at one time you could make a Fast and Furious movie for only 100 minutes.
Listen, I spoke for 25 minutes about tank tops. So yeah. Okay, sorry. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Great start from Kale. Teresa, can I go to your number 5, please?
So my number 5 just, perfectly goes along with Fast and Furious, and that is Rick from Casablanca.
Great. Ooh, very nice. Why? Explain.
Absolute anti-hero. I stick my neck out for nobody.
Nobody.
Runs that Cafe American.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't help anyone. People are coming in. They need money. He won't give it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Sees his ex-girlfriend, and everything just goes from there. He kills a Nazi at the end.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Well, that's a good point.
Of course he's a Nazi at the end. And that's the thing. But the thing is that he's not actually a Nazi, because, if anyone else turned up, he'd just flip to the other side again. He's a slippery eel. He's got fingers in pies, as we say over here.
Could an anti-hero point also be that he has or that he kind of hired a black piano player? Because of that time, you could argue that positions like that were the only thing that they could do.
Well, no, because the backstory of Sam is that Sam was always with him. He was always his partner in whatever venture he was in, because he knew Rick and Ilsa when they were in Paris. So it's not like he hired him to work in.
I don't think it's an exploitation thing. I think he's a character with equal footing almost.
Yeah, that's like his only friend. So.
All right, so Rick from Casablanca. Let's go back to Matthew. Matthew with a controversial start.
It gets better from here. That's all I can tell.
Dude, I love that. Listen, I don't agree with it, but I applaud it. What's number 4?
It's Harley Quinn, but from the Suicide Squad. The first, from the
first one.
Squad
Yeah,
movie.
absolutely. Spot on. Okay, that's the most popular choice for the evening so far. That's
I
definitely.
told you it gets better from here. My number one's gonna shock everyone. If you got number 5, I'll shock.
Don't tease me. Stop it. You
I have
slag.
to.
Stop it, you slag. Anthony, give me number 4, please.
My number 4 is John Wick, because I'll put him in any list I can.
Now,
we don't know his backstory. He killed a lot of people.
He stays killing a lot of people, and he probably doesn't really have to kill.
And he probably killed. If they ever make a John Wick prequel, he'll probably kill innocent people and people that don't deserve to die. Because wasn't he like a hitman?
Yeah,
a retired hitman.
Yeah.
So
yes, of course he was a hitman. Yes, of course he was called Baba Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga.
You don't get called Baba Yaga for no reason. He's clearly a bad man. The thing is, though, this is the power of human beings' love of animals. Is that how can he be a bad person if he's killing all these people for killing his dog?
Well, I'd say too, it's just great storytelling that we're rooting for him when we necessarily don't have to. I mean, you could watch this movie and say he's the bad guy if you really wanted, So
listen, I'm prepared to entertain the idea that Daniel Caruso from the Karate Kid might have been actually a bit more of a prick than I first thought when that video is very convincing, but yeah, and that's all I've got to say on it. Kale, what's number 4?
Okay, so number 4, we're gonna go with Logan from just the entire X-Men franchise.
Wow. Now, so Stephanie also had Logan on her list. She specifically went with Logan from Logan. That was my first thought. Is that the more that we've talked about it tonight, the more I think throughout the entire thing from X-Men 1 all the way through. 100%, he is an anti-hero. He smokes a cigar, for fuck's sake. Of course, he's an anti-hero.
Oh yeah. And Anthony, by the way, the reason why I thought of Logan in the first place is because Logan is such a The Last of Us like copycat, sort of.
It's Wolf and Cub? Wolf and Cub, isn't it? It's that
Lone Wolf and Cub.
Lone Wolf and Cub, yeah.
It makes me think of God of War a lot, actually, which is kind of funny because it's like they're in the newer God of War movies, like that's actually his son. So
interesting.
But yes, and Anthony, yes, I have finished The Last of Us. So not to go on too much of a tangent, but yes, I have finished The Last of Us.
I haven't yet, so no spoilers. I think I'm up to 7. I think
everyone dies. Oh wait.
No, thank you. I mean,
everyone here has to finish it, and then we can do a whole nother space about The Last of Us.
We'll do a whole. It's much better than I expected, to be honest. So far, the episode 3 absolutely fucking shredded me to pieces.
One of the best episodes of TV made.
Jesus Christ! I mean,
would it blow your mind if I told you it gets better?
Yeah, I mean it has, and that's the thing that's been. I can't do more than like an episode at a time. Actually, that's one thing I've noticed with it. Like I tried doing a couple of episodes, and I then had to take a break for a bit. And that's not not criticism. That's not a criticism. I think sometimes you have to
reflect on what you just watched.
Yeah, you definitely need space.
Also, the same with.
Oh no, I finished this in 48 hours. Like
Jesus Christ!
Like I loved it. I was obsessed. I'm like eagerly awaiting, and Alfie knows all about it, so it's gonna be.
No lube. Yeah. That's. Listen. Okay. Wow. I have.
Okay. Sorry. So someone's number 4. Who's
that
next?
Was number 4 was Logan, wasn't it? And then we got Matthew's number 3 coming up. What's this?
I think you skipped me.
Yeah, wait, I was about to say, I remember Teresa. Yeah,
I'm so
come
sorry.
on. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. So sorry, Teresa. Number 4 for
Bring
you.
it up, Teresa.
Okay, number 4 for me is Randall McMurphy from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Ooh,
Yes.
Ooh.
That's Jack.
That's Jack, isn't it? I didn't know the same from One Flew Over. Now, anti-hero?
Absolutely.
Explain.
He's, instead of going to prison for statutory rape, he decides to go to the loony bin instead. And, you know, he's being an absolute idiot to the nurse, but the nurse is evil anyway. And they just spar back and forth throughout the whole movie. And then, you know, he's actually helping the inmates that are in there to get better treatment, you know, get to watch a basketball game, get to play basketball, get to go on a trip. And he's absolutely an anti-hero in the movie. And then what happens to him, you know, at the end is totally tragic, which is another anti-hero trope.
That ending, still to this day, I've never watched the movie since I watched it. I think I saw it when I was about 22, 23. And it was one, I watched it, I loved it. The ending I did not see coming. I still don't know. I still don't know how I feel about that ending. That's the honest truth. Yeah,
it's deep.
It's
And I mean, you want to talk about you know, people always talk about twists and turns in thriller movies and mystery movies. I mean, that movie had so many twists and turns in it that would rival any mystery film.
I think that my problem was that I'd seen Girl Interrupted before I saw One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, so it's quite jarring in terms of expectations.
Right, but I mean, obviously, Cuckoo's Nest couldn't do the things that they did in that film. But I mean, it's just leaps and bounds better.
Wonderful. Okay, so Jack Nicholson's Randall McMurphy from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That's Teresa's number 4. Let me say hi to Romantic. What's up, brother? Good to see you, and thank you for your for a message you sent a while back. It meant a lot, so thank you for that, bro. Where are we back with Matthew? Matthew's number 3 for
My number 3 is a duo. You can't talk about one without the other. Thelma and Louise from Thelma and Louise.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Hang on.
They are totally anti-heroes. You kidding me? They murdered someone. They robbed a convenience store. They drove off a cliff. I mean, one more.
Hey, spoiler!
I think he's safe with
that was
Thelma
before
and
I was
Louise.
born. I'm sorry,
dude. You're raising some very interesting points this evening. I mean, I thought the Terminator was going to be the most surprising thing on your list. I mean, I guess you have a point. They do evade the law
the whole time.
They do. That dude had it fucking coming, though, to be honest.
Oh no, I agree. But that's why they're anti-heroes and not villains.
It's a very good. Okay, listen, I am listening. I am listening intently to you, and I cannot wait for 2 and fucking 1.
Oh, you have no idea.
Okay, Anthony, number 3.
My number 3 is Logan.
Another Logan. Okay, third mention.
I couldn't not put the fact that there is an X-Men available in a movie somewhere that qualifies as an anti-hero that I can put on my list is just really nice, actually.
It's a stone cold choice. Are we going for Logan from Logan?
What?
Are you going for Logan from Logan or Logan from any particular
Logan
X-Men?
from Logan, specifically.
I think it's
yeah.
Second shot for that tonight. Kale, I'm back to you for your number 3, please.
My number 3 is, and forgive me for not knowing the name of the character.
Okay.
It's Gene Hackman from the French Connection.
Popeye Doyle.
Popeye Doyle. Ryan, you and Ryan have that in common. 100%. Great shout.
Yes. I mean, if you've already talked about it, then there's no
go. No, we didn't. We kind of skipped over it actually, which I'm sorry about, Ryan. But yeah, you two pick it up. Pick up.
I mean, he's a bit of a racist. He doesn't really like anybody.
He's just a great anti-hero. He's like a sleazeball, but he's a detective, and he's not a very good cop. But he's but he's made it his mission to do his job.
He gets the job done in the end. I think he broke up a bit.
It's all right. He's coming back. He's coming back. There he is. There he is.
Okay.
Yep, gotcha.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, but Popeye Doyle, I mean, he just is a bad cop. He abuses people. He threatens people. I mean, he very much is a cop, like a 70s cop of the or 70s cop of cinema. And also, I mean, he shoots people, you know, at the end. Like he gets someone killed, and it defines his whole story. It defines his whole story, his whole mission at the end of the movie. So it's a good movie. It's a great. Please go watch it. It's only like an hour and 40 minutes.
And has one of the greatest car chase sequences of all time.
Oh yes,
and one that was done highly illegal.
And Gene Hackman is the king of anti-heroes.
It's the reason why everyone now has to go film in Bulgaria. Is essentially William Friedkin's fault. Beautiful. Okay, so Popeye Doyle at 3 from French Connection. Teresa, your number 3, please.
Okay, my number 3 is William Money from Unforgiven.
Unforgiven.
Absolutely.
Oh, hot tamales.
I've killed women. I've killed kids.
And I'm gonna kill you too, little Bill.
And I'm gonna kill you too.
So true.
Oh, there've been
greatest
so many...
Western anti-hero ever.
100%. 100%. Great shot.
Teresa, I might need to know what your 1 and 2 is, because my 1 and 2 and your 1 and 2 might be the same.
Oh, let's keep this rolling.
We'll see.
Vibes. Okay.
All right, so William Money by I was about to call him Clive for a second there. Clint Eastwood's William Money in Unforgiven at number 3 for Teresa. Matthew, bring it home, brother. You've done so well. Keep going. Keep on giving.
I don't know if well's the correct term, but I definitely made it interesting.
I said what I said.
My number 2 is my definition of an anti-hero. Someone who does bad things, but you can't help but keep rooting for them, even though they keep doing horrible things.
Oh my god! Oh my
Frank
god! Oh my god!
Abagnale, I think is his name, from Catch Me If You Can.
From Catch Me If You Can. That's a great one.
My favorite movie of all time.
Abagnale.
Okay.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
Frank Abagnale from Catch Me If You Can. There was something about the way you just said what you said in terms of the build up to that that's just given me my abs. I can't believe this hasn't come up yet. Fuck it, I'm just going to say it. I thought you were going to say Kevin McAllister from Home Alone. For a second, I was convinced you were going to say Kevin McAllister. But you've done one better. Frank Abagnale. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Honourable mentions and all that. But Frank Abagnale from Catch Me If You Can. That's much. Okay, yes, 100%. What's number 1 though?
It's an animated person.
Ooh.
Emperor Cusco from Emperor's New Groove.
Oh, remind me.
He was kind of like the leader of this, like, I want to say village. He's very like arrogant, very, very snobby.
I can
he
see
gets
it
turned
now.
into a llama, and then he's like guided through to try to get his body back. Like he's still rude the whole time. Like Bruce Springsteen wrote a song for it. Like he must be a bad person if a famous singer has to write a song about
That is
him.
an outstanding. Okay, what was the character's name again?
Emperor Cusco.
Cusco from Emperor's New Groove. Probably the one Disney movie I haven't watched that much. I have seen it a couple of times, definitely, but
it's one of those movies you forget about after a while, and then one day you'll just remember it. Like, oh, I remember that movie.
It's good.
It's really good.
It's good. All right, so you're 5-1. You went Terminator from The Terminator at 5. You went Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad at 4. Thelma and Louise from Thelma and Louise at 3. You went Frank Abagnale from Catch Me If You Can. Steven Spielberg and number 1, the Emperor Cusco from Emperor's New Groove. Dude, you never disappoint me. I don't think you could. You do. I know you try sometimes, but you can't. I don't think you can. You just can't. You try, but it's good.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. All right, Anthony, bring it home for your list. Number 2 and then number 1.
My number 2 is Snape.
Fuck's sake. Fucking hell. Shit, that's good.
He was actually the first person I thought of when I made this list, but he's not my number 1.
Jesus Christ, that's good. Jesus.
From which one?
From all of them.
It has to be the one in which he says, turn to page 374.
The one where he looks at the camera anytime.
I got to be honest, I thought they did handle... I have problems with Harry Potter 7 Part B 3A. I have problems with it, major problems with it, but I thought they handled that revelation about... dude, that's a great shout. Okay, what's number 1 then if Snape's 2?
V for Vendetta. I had to. I mean, yeah. This list actually came pretty organically and naturally to me. I love that, with
dude.
myself.
I love that, and I think for those of us of a comic book sensibility, I think it's very easy. I think it's a lot easier. So your list: Hit Girl, John Wick, Logan, Snape, and V for Vendetta. For Hads, Thanos, Seth Gecko, Nightcrawler, V for Vendetta, Harley Quinn, Chloe's, Venom, Punisher, Blade, Harley Quinn, Deadpool. I sometimes you don't need to take long doing these lists. Just fucking go with what feels right. I love that. Perfect. All right. Okay, Anthony's done. Kale, give me your 2 and 1, please, sir.
Okay, so my number 2 is Jade Fox from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Ooh. Are we talking
Zhang Ji?
Zhang Ji. Yeah, Zhang Ji.
No. That's her. No, we're talking about her mentor.
Her mentor.
She
has a mentor named Jade Fox.
Oh, who is the little old woman? Yes,
she's like our main antagonist.
Yes. Who
but
with the spitty pipe thing?
Yep. She was in Come Drink
She is our main.
She
is our main antagonist, and you can make an argument that her actions are totally unjustified, and she's very emotional, and she is very, very emotionally abusive to her apprentice.
But she has a cause. But she does have a legitimate beef.
So for those who don't know what Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is, so Jade Fox was basically like she wanted to be like one of the flying ninjas that are in the movie that Michelle Yeoh and Chun Yun Fat. She wanted to always be in that clan, but she instead was basically like raped and abused by all of like the elder members. So she's killed all of them, and then Chun Yun Fat has vowed for vengeance, and so she has a cause. She wants to break, basically the wheel, if you will, of the society that's basically shun out like women who want to be like these powerful ninjas. If that makes any sense.
It absolutely does. No, dude. It's 100% valid. I hadn't thought about it that way. I think even to this day, I would have thought she's your classic villain, but no, you're absolutely right.
And
it's
one of the
things about the movie is
it's
very, that's right, and it's an incredibly layered movie because I think that's why, in terms of the way it plays out and the way Chow Yun-fat's character does what he does, I think it 100% is all kind of baked into the story from the beginning.
Yes, I mean the movie is a lot more nuanced than I make it sound, but it is so like Skadooosh is saying, like it's a very nuanced movie about how like pent up masculinity and pent up emotions and feelings can cause damaging ramifications in culture and society, and even like for future generations, like unintentionally.
It's a classic. Hurt people. I mean, they literally hurt people with swords.
Well, emotionally and physically.
Whilst flying along elegantly to
oh yes, the flying
Cantonese pipe music.
Oh yeah, like to beautiful violin music by Yo-Yo Ma.
I think it's one of those movies where, because I wasn't expecting it, and I hadn't seen a movie like that before when I saw it, by the time that I'd seen it. So at the point where they do start to fly, it is one of those classic moments where you're asked by what you're seeing, like, and you either
You just have to go with it. You just have to go with it.
You have to go with it, and then once you do, it's like, yes.
The more you go with it, the better you're off, because
then you get Hero, then you get Crouching Tiger, then you get House of Flying Daggers,
and then the old Shaw Brothers movies, and
it's a great again, great watch. I love, I hate Jade Fox, but I also very much understand her plight.
All right, so Jade Fox from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yes.
The
Tigger from Winnie the Pooh is crouching a lot.
That reminds me. So, okay, we spoke about it. Let's do it very quickly. Winnie the Pooh: Blood and Honey has been released. For those of you who don't know, this is because the copyright on Winnie the Pooh, at least for the content, not so much the likeness, but the copyright had expired, so now anyone can make a movie about Winnie the Pooh.
And they made a horror movie.
Someone made a horror movie called Winnie the Pooh: Blood and Honey.
I saw it.
If you haven't seen Mark Kermode's review of it on YouTube, it's really worth watching. I think he just spends a lot of the time saying, "Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?
Because
why?"
you can.
And that is not a good enough answer. I'm sorry. All right, enough about Winnie the Pooh. What's number one, Kel?
My number one is going for the obvious. It is Deckard from Blade Runner.
Oh, dude.
And I could have chosen, you have no idea how many anti-heroes Harrison Ford has accidentally played.
I mean, it hasn't come up yet, but there's one glaring one, isn't there? Which isn't this one, which I'm glad doesn't come up, actually.
I can see why now everyone's not going to pick that one, just because it's so obvious. So everyone thought we would all pick it.
Yes.
I didn't even think about it.
I'm not going to pick that one. I'm going to pick with Deckard because of course, Blade Runner is one of my favorites, but also Deckard's just one of my favorite characters because he's just a detective. He's just a blue collar. He's just some schlub, and he's just being tasked to figure out he's tasked to find these four replicants. Excuse me, thank you. And he's not very good at his job, and he's almost killed 2 or 3 times in the movie. But he's there, he's there to do his job.
I think it's even more complicated than that, dude, because if you go by what Ridley Scott believes about his belief about what Deckard actually is, there is a perspective which is this is someone hunting down people of conscious beings and turning them off, or killing them, and there's Denis Villeneuve isn't so sure that Deckard was actually a replicant. Ridley Scott was very, very adamant that he is by the end of Blade Runner, that is. So you're looking at a detective which is hunting down his own kind.
It depends on which version you watch.
Yeah, that's why I genuinely love the twist of it, and the reason why I'm okay with Deckard being a replicant, because it just adds this whole sinister nature to the world that it's a slave hunting he's hunting other slaves.
Yes, 100%. Yes, 100%. Dude, it's a beautiful list. Kale went with Dom Toretto from Fast and the Furious 1. Again, another shout out. March 21st, the retrospective will be live on the Youth Critic. A lot of talk about tank tops. Logan, the fifth mention. At least. He
I
wears
I
two.
might cut
He
1 minute
wears
out.
two. He
Just
wears
to
one
be
on top of the
merciful.
other.
I might cut 1 minute out just to be merciful.
Don't cut any of it.
Okay, honestly, I you know me when I get on a roll. He wears two. He wears two tank tops. It's already warm, and you're wearing two tank tops. Number three.
You should wait till we talk about the fashion of Too Fast, Too Furious. Just wait.
God, I cannot. Another mention for French Connection. That's the third. Second shout for Popeye Doyle in French Connection, and then I love Jade Fox from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon at 2. Deckard is a great shout from Blade Runner at number 1. Thank you, Kale.
No problem.
Thank you, sir. Number 2 and then number 1 for Teresa, please.
Okay, since I'm not everyone, I am going to say that my number 2 is Han Solo in Star Wars.
You were just waiting for that one.
You go, Queen. You take it and run with it.
You do it. Now listen, we're not actually going to talk about.
It is what it is.
No, we're not going to. You don't actually mean Han Solo from Solo, do you? Though, do you?
I said from Star Wars.
Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus, Mary, Mother.
Because he's a scoundrel and a pirate, and he's only in it for the money.
Only in it for the money, 100% stone cold, and I love that almost one of the last lists of the night. We finally got there.
And he shot Greedo first.
He did.
Absolutely.
McClunky.
Malaki.
It's McClunky. Yeah. Okay. But hang on. That's at 2. So number 1 better be special.
Okay, my number 1 has been mentioned already. But I'm very, very upset that one person had him at number 5 and the other person had him at number 3 because he is the greatest anti-hero of all time. And that is Popeye Doyle from the French Connection.
Yes! I mean, you just brought that home there with the Holy Trinity. Third
and
vote.
The bottom line is that I have to disagree with Kale. He is not a bad cop. He is a good cop. He is such a good cop that he sniffed out the fact that there were drugs. He was obsessed with following the 2 guys that everybody else said, nah, not them. That guy's on a TV show. It's not him, but him and his partner, they staked them out. They found Sal and Angie. They followed it through. He was so obsessed that he ran after a dude that was shooting him with a high-powered rifle with his little pistol. I mean, it's perfect. Yes, he's not a little bit racist. He's a whole lot of racist. He's violent. He's just driven. And when you get to that ending where he does what he does, he's still driven. It's like, oh, I did that. Whoops. Okay, let me keep looking for the guy. That's obsession. That is total anti-hero.
Okay, I'm willing to vibe with this.
Number 5, Rick from Casablanca. Number 4, Randall McMurphy. Jack Nicholson from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. William Cash, William S. Money from Unforgiven. Han Solo. And the third and most definitive exploration of why Popeye Doyle from French Connection is, I think, our winner. Well, it's not the most voted for, but it is almost seeming the most emphatic choice for this evening.
And to put the icing on the cake, he's based on a real person, a real cop named Eddie Egan, who did find the French Connection back in the late 60s.
How is there not a Netflix documentary about this?
I mean, because French Connection is as close as you're going to get to an actual documentary. That's the stuff that really happened.
That is the right answer.
And the cop himself actually played the police chief in the movie.
Unbelievable. Eddie Egan.
Egan. Look him up.
Research for later. Beautiful.
New York history.
Out of curiosity for Teresa, a while back you had like a board of everybody you've met, and you did meet Hackman once.
Yes,
or interview him
Hackman's
once.
on the list.
Yeah, I did interview him. Yep.
Do you have any stories?
Oh yeah, I got a bunch of stories.
Nah. Oh, go on. Give us a quick one. Give us a quick one. Yeah, one quick one, please.
One quick one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll tell you about when I met him. So I went to go see him to ask him for an interview. So I'm waiting for. He was doing a play on Broadway with Richard Dreyfuss and Glenn Close at the time. So I'm standing outside the stage door waiting for him to show up. And, I'm looking up and down the block, seeing if I see him. I know how big he is. He's a tall guy, 6'3" or 4 or something like that. And so I see him coming down the street. So I go and I walk up to him. And I walk right up to him. I say, "Excuse me." And I'm getting ready to say, "Excuse me, Mr. Hackman." I say, "Excuse me." He says, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And he steps out of my way. So I had to jump back in front of him. And I said, "Mr. Hackman." And then his face kind of turned because he's like, "Oh, somebody recognized me."
Mm-hmm.
And I introduced myself. And I told him that I was starting a magazine. And if I could talk to him about it. And he was like, "Well, what do you want to talk about? Acting?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just would like to interview you, and from my publication." And I told him what it was. I didn't have one yet. I hadn't even had nothing. It was just me.
Amazing.
And he was like, he just looks at me, looks me up and down. He goes, "Okay, come back next week after the matinee. I'll give you a half an hour." I said, "Okay, great. Thank you." And then I went back to that following week and did the interview. But we only had 23 minutes because freaking Glenn Close.
Oh, fucking
messed
Glenn
it up.
Close. I mean, I've always said that about that woman. Selfish.
So that's just
What
the
a
first.
stealer.
That's just one story. You said a quick one, so that was when we met. That was quick.
We will do an entire space where Teresa just gets given free reign to do name clangs all evening.
That would be fun.
The Ed Harris one's the best
Ed Harris
one.
story is still my favorite. It's still my favorite. And listen, that was a good story. But it doesn't quite beat the Ed Harris. I mean, nothing so far can beat that.
There are things that can beat that.
Oh, okay, no, don't.
We could do a space just talking about celebrity encounters we all have.
I like that idea. All right, we're going to close up. I'm going to do some honourable mentions. Fahad's going to talk in a second. There was a guy called Hadrian. Hadrian, if you're still here, hi, brother. It's not we're turning you away. We're just going to close the space just because we've been going for a while, but we're going to be doing a lot more of these. So I'll follow and I'll invite you. We do top 5 movie ... and it's a lot of fun. So thank you for joining. But I'm going to close up tonight. We're going to do some honourable mentions. So quick overview. As I said, I think Gene Hackman.
So
and
just
French
a question,
Connection.
Skadoosh, before we do the honorable
Go ahead.
mentions. Just gonna take 2 minutes. How is Logan an anti-hero? I mean, the guy has been on the right side of things for the longest time. As Meredith from
Did he
The
kill his
Office
own
always
father?
says, he
No?
wouldn't fart on a butterfly. I mean, like if you think about from X-Men, I mean, if you take Magneto,
Listen,
who always
he is
had this
very
questionable
rude. No,
disparity
Fahad.
of
I'm sorry, Fahad.
morality
I'm
all the
sorry.
time.
I've listened to enough of this. He is very rude to Scott Summers. He's very rude.
Yeah.
And he
That
says
doesn't
a
make him an
bad word.
anti-hero.
He says a bad word in Days of Future Past. That is an octogenarian in a wheelchair he's talking to. No, it's not. Hang on, is it? Hang on. No.
No. He was young and
He's very rude. He's very
You're thinking
rude
of First Class.
to Xavier too. He's very rude to Xavier too at times.
I mean, he can't be an anti-hero because he's the lovable asshole.
He's still an
Isn't that
asshole.
Deadpool?
It's bad. The clues in the fucking name, brother. All right, it's a valid question. I think we've given it the credence it deserves. All right, honorable mentions.
I had one.
No, all right, hang on. I can't believe I didn't think of Kevin McAllister. Fucking little shit. I mean, genuine.
Just
Kevin McAllister.
Boy.
I'm gonna go with. Listen, Matthew knows what I'm talking about, and a few others of you know. There has to be a mention for Treasure Planet in here, and therefore Long John Silver.
Oh my god!
AKA the Cyborg. Har, Jim lad.
Oh my god! I should have.
Oh my god! So sorry. Alfie. we have tried to get Mladen in tonight. I don't know what is happening, and I've tried and Cinemaniac. I've been trying to add you to get you to speak as well. I'm aware it's not working for everyone, but if you can put your list in the chat, and Alfie, I think we've got Young Wolves, we've got Mladen's list in the chat. Do you have it? Do you want to run it for us? Alfonso, I think he's
have it.
searching. Oh, Fahad's got it.
Yeah. His number 5 is Cell Block Tango Crew from Chicago.
This is all female, isn't it?
Yeah, number 4 he also got Thelma and Louise. It is actually all female.
I mean,
number 3 he got Amy from Gone Girl. Number 2 he got Oren Ishii from Kill Bill.
Oren Ishii is a great shout. The most sympathetic, the one that you really felt bad when she had to die. Like Oren Ishii is a great shout. What's the last one?
The way she died.
I mean, talk about a top and tail.
Top, yeah,
top knot. That's a scalping.
And for some reason, he's got Cassie from Promising Young Woman as number 1.
Oh God!
My God, that is. Oh my God! Of course, the last one. The last one. Jesus. Oof.
If you've seen it, you know why.
If you've seen it, you do know why. Oh my God, that is a great shout. I am so impressed. Because of that ending, that's why I knew that there were aspects of that movie that Ryla would love, but because of that ending, I couldn't. Just no. Fuck. Mladen, that's a great shout. Michael, hello, brother. We're just coming to an end, but we're going to do another space towards the weekend, probably Friday or Saturday night. But I'll give you a follow and I'll send you a link. Nice to meet you. We talk about movies. Tonight we've been talking about anti-heroes. Deadpool didn't get as many votes as I thought he would.
I think Logan got more.
Logan got more. V from V for Vendetta got more. We had a lot from The French Connection. Venom came up a couple of times. Mahoney from Police Academy, which is still one of my favorites. David's list tonight was one of my favorites, and because he had Hannibal at 2 and then Thanos. We've said the disclaimer already. Genocide bad, but there's a reason Thanos came up twice. And Hannibal is a great shout. Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs.
You know what I just thought of?
I
can't believe it. We none of us thought of it. Quint from Jaws.
Listen, it came to me earlier. As did Ray Winston from Sexy Beast. Gal from Sexy Beast. No. Well, no, that's Ben Kingsley. I had to lose. What else did I have to lose? I wanted to put the Vampire Lestat in there, but only because I'm obsessed with Queen of the Damned. Because I'm the only one who likes it, I think. Any more honorable mentions?
I had two. Carrie from Carrie.
The Man with No Name from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
All right, double trouble. All right, sorry. So Sissy Spacek, another vote. Carrie, Carrie from Carrie, and The Man with No Name. That's a great show. Any more?
And it could be controversial. I think Alfie might do a yes, but
for some reason I put Furiosa on one of my other lists.
100%. 100%. I was surprised she didn't come up, but we did have a Mad Max shout early on. Sorry, Ryan. What else did you have?
Vincent Cassell in Irreversible.
I think I'm going to let you and Alfie talk about that offline. All right.
When he said Alfie, I thought he meant Alfie the movie.
Oh,
I thought he meant Alfie, and I was going to say, yeah, that's a good choice.
That is a great shout. That is an accidental. That's an accidental goal.
Wait, what did he say? I couldn't hear him.
Speaking
of
Alfie
from Alfie, so Michael Caine in Alfie.
And today's his 90th birthday.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, yeah. Tom Cruise was celebrating his birthday. with him.
And that's maybe why he did good at the Oscars.
Can we say also a belated happy birthday? Sunday was Stephanie's birthday of this parish. So yeah, that was her birthday.
Hey, Stephanie, happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
Shares a birthday with Alan Saint-Maximin. Those of you know. Those of you don't should follow and support Newcastle United because it's just the right thing to do.
They want me some
we're
money
not sports
on Sunday,
people.
so.
Hashtag sports. Hashtag
Is that like a
foosball.
hockey team?
Foosball. Foosball.
What if we
Guys,
just watched Ted
I
Lasso
have-
for the comedy?
Yes. So Ted Lasso. Okay. So a few things. Ted Lasso's back on. I think there's only one episode that's been released. It genuinely is balm for the soul. They nailed it. I thought they absolutely nailed it. That first episode. To have a look at Teresa's tweet for Nick Mohammed. I love that Nick Mohammed is getting exposure. That is as it should be. What else? I watched Varsity Blues. If you like Varsity Blues, maybe don't rewatch it. That's all I'm going to say.
I have a recommendation, Skadooosh, which I DM'd you about, but I don't think you checked it yet.
But why can't I get a stream for Patan yet? Have you seen Patan?
It's gonna be released on Netflix or something in like 15 days or something.
Oh,
I have watched it in the theater.
But, is it good? Is it good?
It's RR-ish, you know. You'll like it. It's like a popcorn type of movie.
Okay.
Some, out of the world. Someone I think mentioned in this space, like Chris. It's very Fast and Furious-y. So
listen, I'm here for it.
My recommendation to you, Skadooosh, which I DM'd you about, was
you did.
I bought. I was really feeling like watching Step Brothers, so I bought it on iTunes, and then it had to do deleted scenes. Those deleted scenes with, like the interviews that go to, right? Those strapped together. There's like 40 minutes of just those interviews, and every one of them is just too hilarious. Like I could tell, like they must have had such a hard time to pick the right one out of it to put it in the movie. But every one of them is a killer. So if you guys have get a chance to watch those deleted scenes from Step Brothers, definitely.
It's a great show. So. They also kind of replicated that in
Anchorman has like an hour and a half.
Talladega Nights has
my
favorite.
Talladega and Anchorman
Talladega
as well.
Nights are the best.
All of that, but
this
one just
little baby Jesus.
Skadoosh, Abji put a really cool list in the chat.
What is it? Can you do it for us?
Yeah, sure. It's number 5, Vincent from Collateral.
Nice.
Ooh.
Number 4, Fletcher from Whiplash.
Oh my God! How the fuck did that not come up? That's a great shout. That's a
number
great
3.
shout.
That's an evil fucking man too.
That isn't, but is he though? Yes. But is he? Yes. But is he? Probably yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, Teresa.
It's okay. Number 3, Man with No Name, For Good and the Bad, the Ugly.
Wow. 2 right at the death.
Number 2, Daniel Plainview from There Will Be Blood.
Absolutely. Why didn't I think of that?
God, that is a great shout.
Yep, that just zipped over all our heads.
Oh, I'm quite angry.
And number 1, Tyler Durden from Fight Club.
Excellent shout. Or the narrator.
Well, no, Tyler Durden, the Brad Pitt character, not the Edward Norton character.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so Tyler Durden, Daniel Plainview, the Man with No Name from The Good, Bad and the Ugly, Fletcher from Whiplash, Fletcher from fucking Whiplash. Excellent shout. My only quibble would have been Vincent, so we're talking Tom Cruise in Collateral. No.
Yeah.
Is he in that? He's just the bad guy, isn't he? Or is he an anti-hero?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had no good
you could argue he has good qualities to him.
I need to go back and watch it.
He was a great killer, Ryan. Is that what you were saying?
Listen, there have been arguments for a lot worse tonight. than is Tom Cruise in Collateral a bad guy.
I think we need a 2-hour discussion on Thanos, though.
I think some of us need to go to, I don't know, altruism 101 classes. But yes, listen. It's been an exploratory discussion, very open, very safe. It's not safe. Thank you, Abashi. Thank you very much, and come back, man. Come back. We're gonna do more. Any other recommendations before I go? Oh, I saw Living. And I saw Bull, but Living is the one I want to talk about.
I didn't know that was a Riku remake. A remake of
Ikiru, yeah, it's a Kurosawa remake. Ikiru. It's just a beautiful, beautiful movie. Absolutely beautiful movie, and I'm so happy he got nominated for that. Obviously, he was never going to win, but wow, absolute wow. Any other recommendations? Kale, what you got?
I've seen 65. Not bad. It's just aggressively okay.
It wasn't screened for press, which we all know is code for.
It's probably
yeah. This is a movie where you're just like, it's schlock. Like it's it's schlocky. Like I don't know. Like it's not amazing, but it's not great. It's not gonna be like it. I will be weirded out if this becomes like a cult following because it's barely. I mean, you literally are like in and out of the theater like super quick.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Worth the money?
Maybe for PVOD.
There we go. That's the answer.
It's a Sony title, so it'll be on Netflix.
And then also
aggressively mediocre is now my favorite way. Aggressively mediocre.
I'm stealing it.
Yeah, it's that's what it is, and but what's not aggressively okay is The Last of Us. It's fucking fantastic, and a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I think that's been my feedback too. So I need to finish that. Lockwood and Co., which I don't know if anyone has seen. Lockwood and Co. If you're a fan of Joe Cornish, Attack the Block, and Kid Who Would Be King, it is YA, but it's really good. And trust me, I am very much not here for most of YA. I wasn't a fan of the blood and shadows and all that bullshit. Everyone's a very hunky teenager. This, Lockwood and Co., written by Jonathan Stroud, fantastic fantasy author who also wrote The Golem's Eye, the Bartimaeus trilogy. If you're a fan of fantasy and you're a fan of Joe Cornish, on Netflix, Lockwood and Co. is excellent. It's really excellent. I'm a big fan.
Skadoosh, Stephanie put some honorable mentions in the chat.
What she got?
She's got Veronica from Widows.
Yep. Jesus Christ, yes.
That's Viola Davis, right?
Yeah. And Creasy from Man on Fire.
That's wow. Wow. Yep.
And Abji said that the end of Collateral makes Vincent an anti-hero.
I need to go back. That's just sealed it for me. I'm rewatching that within 24 hours. I'm rewatching that. I've got the time. That's gone on the list. Abji, thank you, brother. All right, let's bring it to an end. Let's do another one on Friday or Saturday. Put suggestions in the group chat or just in the chat for this space. Give me suggestions. I need suggestions, but I always pull it out of the bag. Usually it's someone else's idea because those are all the best ones. But thank you all. That's been a wonderful night. It's been a lot of fun. I've needed to do this. Thank you. Have a lovely end to your week. I will see you all on Friday or Saturday. In the words of the big blue dude. Bye bye. Bye bye now. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.